Previously on Sea Stories.
Have you seen JTsuits? Where's my son?
Where's JT? JT? Where's JT? What is that?
Get a towel! Get a towel! Not made for this weather. Get the camera out! Yo, what a fan! Yo, what a fan! What a fan! Rolling by every night and day. What a fan! Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand. For Gryffindor! Oh, wait, there's more.
Shout out to my nigga Dumbledore. Before I try to kill him, maybe a little bitch. Steady got killed.
But I have blood print. Alright, what up, fam? Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode 5 of Untold Sea Stories. I asked you guys on Snapchat, did you want to see an action sea story, or did you want to hear a haunted sea story from my base in Itsugi, Japan? I got a lot of action requests, but don't worry. Episode 6 will be the haunted sea story. We're going to get into the action sea story today for episode 5.
Where is it?
Now, where this story began, fam, I want you guys to understand, how huge of a moment this was for me just in my life. Because as I joined the Navy, as I depped in 2009, before I went to boot camp, I had this, huge mystery about working on the flight deck. I watched every single video I could about working on the flight deck, and it was a huge freaking dream of mine. It looked just insane, the things that they were doing, the F-18s landing right in front of you, taking off, the power behind all of that, just the sheer excitement of everything going on. Like, that was one of my dreams that I wanted to do. And I was able to work on the flight deck. I joined the helicopter squadron after A school, Helicopter Maritime Strike Squadron 77. And the rest is history. The rest is going to be told on this sea story today. So this sea story is about my very first deployment. Back in 2012, my squadron was sent on originally it was supposed to be a 5-month world tour, so I was 19 years old. I had been in the Navy only about almost a year at that point, and, I was super stoked. I'm like, sweet, I get to go on a world tour, it's going to be a pretty easy deployment, we're not getting combat deployed or anything, we're just going to go around, and we're going to flex our powers, and we're going to go hit some ports. Basically, a world tour is just like, hey, look at us, look at the carrier, look how big and strong we are, and that's it. But this is where the story starts to go wrong. About 3 months into deployment, the skipper, the commanding officer of CVN 72, he comes on the 1MC, the whistle that you hear before the skipper comes on. I believe it goes like... And then the skipper comes on and he says, all right, guys, we're getting extended. Now it's going to be a 9-month combat deployment. It's now going to be a total of a 9-month deployment. And yes, we're going into the fucking Persian Gulf. We're going to help the troops on the ground. We're going to provide air support for OEF, Operation Enduring Freedom, and Operation Iraqi Freedom. So as all of us heard the news on the ship, as all 5,000 sailors heard that, you can kind of hear a collective, like, everyone's hearts just fucking dropping. So I'm going to bring up this map real quick of the Middle East just so you guys have an understanding. I know when I see things visually, it helps me, the story a lot. So here's the Persian Gulf. And you can see the Straits of Hormuz lead out into the Arabian Sea. So we operated in that area of responsibility for about 5 months. We were going in and out of the Straits of Hormuz from the Persian Gulf, back into the Arabian Sea, back into the Persian Gulf. And that's where we were providing air support, right off the coast of Iran. You have, Dubai, Iraq, Afghanistan. You have all these countries. So we were getting hazardous duty pay and imminent danger pay. Now this is where the main story takes place, in the Straits of Hormuz. It's international waters. Iran's Navy at this point had warned us a couple times. They'd said, okay, if your strike group, if the carrier and the destroyer and the cruiser, if y'all go through the straits one more time, then we're going to attack you.
This video that you see right now is of yet another incident overseas involving Iran and one of our ships. 4 Iranian Revolutionary Guard vessels harassed our destroyer, the USS Nitz, yesterday near the Strait of Hormuz.
We're going to get you. You know, they're kind of poking the bear. Iran's Navy likes to do that with us as we're in the Persian Gulf and going through the Straits and in the Arabian Sea. So this was one of the final times we were going to go through the Straits of Hormuz back into the Persian Gulf. And Iran, again, had warned us, you know, if you guys go through the Straits, we're going to do something. So obviously, we're America. We're like, we don't give a fuck, Iran. We're like, this is international fucking waters. This is international waters. We're going to go through the Straits. You cannot fucking stop us because we're America. We're going. So we start this transit. We start the Straits transit. Now, what makes this a very dangerous and sketchy situation is because we cannot fly air support. Besides our helicopters. We cannot fly any F-18s, any jets, besides the helos. It's all the helicopters. It's our show now. This is like our fucking Super Bowl. We're the only ones able to fly right now. We're the only ones that can provide air support. So the crazy thing is, me being a landing signalman enlisted, you know, I was AM2, I was a petty officer 2nd class at this point. No, I was a petty officer 3rd class. I was an AM3. I was a plane captain for my squadron. I was also a qualified landing signalman enlisted. There wasn't that many of us. So it was a pretty fucking cool job because, you know, you stand out as an LSC on the flight deck and on the ship because you have your LSC shirt and you wear a green shirt and we had a red cranial. But anyways, they shut down the whole flight deck for the Straits of Hormuz for this transit. Every single time, the whole flight deck is secured. The only people that are allowed on the flight deck is mandatory personnel. So that was me and a few other people. You know, there was only a handful of us on the whole flight deck. It was a fucking ghost town. You know, so like we're the ones running the show. Everybody on the whole ship, you know, can see us on the flight deck TV. You know, like HSM 77 and HSC 12, our sister squadron. We were both of the squadron on the ship, and our helos were fucking protecting the fucking strike group, yo. And we were going through, we had all our helicopters circling around us. And then out of the distance, out of the blue, you know, out on the horizon, I see these little fucking dots, these little tiny boats, you know, these little tiny specks, and they're getting closer and closer and closer. And I'm thinking, oh, what the fuck, dude? Are you kidding me? Like, is this going down right now? Like, are they coming at us, these little boats? So I'm on the flight deck with no bulletproof vest, no gear. I just have my cranial, I have my float coat, I'm wearing flight deck boots, long sleeve shirts, and long sleeve pants. Like I said, there's only a handful of us up there. Everyone is secured on the whole ship besides us, and then the 50 cal people, the people that are mounting the 50 cals all around the sides of the ship. We're the only ones. These little boats, they get closer and closer, and we start to see what they are. They're little Iranian Navy boats with fucking guns mounted on the front of their boats with people on their fucking guns.
They know exactly how America responds. We're always the sane one or the restrained one. Maybe it is. I mean, maybe it wouldn't be such a bad idea once in a while to sink one of them.
Those little
just
boats.
to sink one of them.
And there's about probably 8 or 10 of them. And they're all coming in a straight line. They're all hauling fucking ass towards our strike group. And I'm in front of the helicopter at this point. You know, I'm talking with the pilots. You know, the pilots are refueling. The pilots are getting fuel. And I'm standing in front of the helo, and I see these boats getting closer and fucking closer and closer. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, are they gonna come after us? Like, am I about to watch fucking war unfold? Literally a couple 100 yards in front of me. You know, like I could literally see how close these boats are getting, and they did not stop. We had to shoot chaff and flares. So we shot flares out of the chaff and flare box, out of the helos for our first warning, and they did not heed to that warning. So do you know what that means? They didn't stop to the flares. Our helicopter gunner starts shooting fucking rounds into the water right in front of their boat. Fucking ba ba ba. And I'm like, oh shit, they're shooting at them. I'm seeing this go down. I'm like, what the fuck? We're shooting at the boat. But I didn't know at the time it was just warning shots. You know, I thought like, oh fuck, like we're attacking them. But it was just warning shots. But still, dude, our gunner, he fucking shooting 50 cal rounds. He's shooting them right into the water. Warning shots, dude, right in front of the boat. If they got any closer, and that finally is what made all those little Iranian Navy boats turn around. As soon as we started shooting the 50 cal rounds, they were like, fuck no, dude, and they got the fuck out of there, dude, and all of them took off. Because if they kept going closer and didn't stop then to the 50 cal round warning shots, then the next rounds would have been in their fucking boat. That they would have been done. The crazy thing about that whole story is that I'm standing there on the edge of the flight deck on like spot 4 or 5, which is the middle of the ship. I'm pretty much at the midline of the ship, standing at spot 4 in front of my helicopter. I'm like watching all this shit go down. I don't have any protection. You know, if they could have easily just, their gunner could have just went whoop, pop, 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 pop. And I'm just like, oh fuck. I'm like, please do not do that. I was thinking like a fucking escape routes in my head. I was like, if that goes down, where the fuck am I headed, dude? Because I don't have any fucking protection. But that's what's crazy about that whole story is that the whole flight deck was secure. It was just the helicopters protecting the strike group and these little fucking Iranian boats. You know, they're trying to poke the bear. They're trying to fuck with us. And I never thought I would get to see, like, I would get that close to the fucking action. You know, like, I thought, you know, working on the flight deck, I was like, that's enough. Like, that's crazy. That's going to be crazy enough. But no, I got to see some shit go down. I got to see rounds fired at the Iranian Navy. You know, and that is the craziest, that's the closest I'll ever fucking be to war. That is the fucking sea story for tonight. And the crazy thing is about this sea story is that the same thing that just happened to me in 2013 on my deployment happened a couple days ago to the Navy again. Another Iranian little Navy boat came up to a fucking cruiser or a destroyer, and they had to shoot rounds in the water to stop them. The same shit just happened. And I'm like, what the fuck? The same shit happened to me in 2013. Iran. They were just poking the bear.
8 a.m. local time Sunday morning, 4 Iranian fast boats traveling at high speed came within 900 yards of the USS Mahan.
If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like and thumbs up, leave a comment. Many more sea stories to come. Episode 6 is going to be the haunted sea story from my time in Atsugi, Japan, one of the most haunted bases in the whole military. So I'll see you guys very soon. Social media below as always. On the road to 100K. Thank you so much for all the support. Goodbye!